with the acceleration of some of these new AI agents and things like that. Like now I have ideas and I can, within like hours, have a prototype, a working prototype. You miss that boat? You haven't missed this one yet, but you will if you sleep on it. I think it's going to be one of the greatest opportunities that we have. Right? It's going to be because of their mindset and their creativity, almost a creative renaissance, if you will.
I think there's like a fear, like I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not going to fucking do it.
You just have to be better than the next guy. You just got to be an hour ahead of him, a day ahead of him. The playing field is level. Like that's what I think everybody needs to understand.
But it won't be forever.
It will not be forever.
All right, Randy, thanks for coming in. You're my brother-in-law and family, but I'm sure most of the people watching this don't know who you are. So if you want to give a little bit of context on your name, your background, what you're doing now.
My name is Randy Tobbe. Obviously, I'm a Michigan resident, and I've been in business pretty much off and on for the last 20-ish years. I started young, with a power washing business, just like a lot of other young hustlers, if you will, and kind of worked my way up the ranks there. I've been involved with a lot of different businesses over the last 20 years, predominantly in the last 15. It's been all SaaS, right? It's been creating SaaS businesses and technology, finding market gaps, and then implementing those for potential users. And during that time, it was predominantly in the real estate space, but I've since ventured off from there.
That's cool, man. What was the, so you guys had, well, I'm going to promote social because I talked about that before in an episode, knocking on doors and doing all that. What was the software you guys had during that time?
So initially we had a product called Realty Commander, which was one of the first of its kind. It was a transaction management company, and we created it accidentally. Like it wasn't like we set out to do that. We were trying to help manage all of these transactions, and it really, there wasn't anything out there at the time. And this is kind of during the time where SaaS wasn't quite there. You could still like download softwares. I don't know for those of you who are watching or if you remember, like you would buy something, you would download it onto your draft, and then anytime you wanted to use it, right, you'd go in there and click on it. We knew nothing about creating software, to be honest with you. We created it internally, and we thought we were going to actually help from a service perspective. Nobody wanted the service. Everybody wanted the little tool that we created. We didn't know how to take credit cards, right? Like, I mean, like a lot of
I remember you telling me you did like a press release.
Yeah, we did a press release, and all of a sudden, like people are calling and they're like, hey, we want to buy this. And we're like, how do we, like it just wasn't there. And we kind of just stumbled our way through, figured it out. We grew that. We had a pretty decent sized staff. And from there, we wound up selling that to a company called Showing Time, which now I think Zillow owns that. And it was just a really cool experience. I mean, it wasn't like a massive exit or anything like that, but the fact that you built something that a bigger company sees as enough value and it impacts enough people that they want to acquire it, I think is an accomplishment in itself, right? Because I think 90-something% of businesses fail, right out of the gate. So that was a really big accomplishment. And then from there, we went on to, or I left that company. I'm just not a big corporate guy. And my friend, one of my best friends now, David, he had just created a CRM called LionDesk. And there wasn't a lot of employees, if any at the time. There wasn't a lot of customers. And I had moonlight with him. I was just kind of helping him. We had met, I think, in DC or New York or something. And he's like, hey, help me do this. And I would just kind of do it at nighttime a little bit and help him. I did that for about 4 or 5 months. And he's like, hey, let's blow this thing up. Right. And that's when we went headfirst into building LionDesk. I became one of the managing partners. And we grew that in about 5 years from 0 customers to around 165,000 monthly paying customers. And then we exited that about 3 years ago. That one was much better, different experience. The process was different. And there was a big differentiator between why The first was a mediocre success, and the second one, and I learned a ton from David and the people that.
If you don't mind sharing, what was that difference?
So, product market fit is obviously one thing, I think, to having a successful business. The other is building a team, right? Like with the first company, we didn't have a big team. Obviously, we weren't making tons of money. It wasn't Lambos and mansions and yachts or anything like that. It was just a small business, it was a small SaaS. When we were growing LionDesk, we were growing at such a rapid rate because we figured out the lead generation component of it, the conversion process. So we were hiring really quickly, right? We were firing really quickly. But building an actual team was, I think, what I call an all-star team, I think was the key to the success. Yes, we were out there hustling. Yes, we were out there working our butts off, right? We were calling people. We were listening to customers. We were doing everything that we needed to do, but we knew that we couldn't do it alone, right? So having key players to build that company, I think ultimately were the main reason for the success. I mean, we had like a cult-like following. I mean, to grow that many users in that short of a period of time was kind of unheard of in that vertical, right? I know that in consumer apps and some other things you can do it, but we just grew really, really quickly. Right? We had really clear goals, and we're like, let's just go for them.
Well, how do you think was the clarity in your goals and what you guys were doing, how you attracted those all-stars? Like, what was the strategy there?
Yeah, I think maybe. We were having fun, man. I mean, it was really fun. We were traveling a lot. I mean, that's tough on the family, but, we were just out there shaking hands, doing a lot of business development. I mean, relationships are key. And then you start to meet people and they're like, oh, we want to work with you. We like your insight. We like where you're going with this. And then boom, you get another big customer. And the people who we attracted, I think for the most part, saw that, right? I mean, I would go out to California every 45 days and spend a week in the office, and everybody loved when I was there, right? Like I was all excited, and I was ambitious. I was pumping the team up. I'm like, let's go, and then I guess a couple of days before, everybody's like, oh, Randy's coming out next week. That's awesome, and it would be fun, right? I mean, I would get on sales calls. I'd get on support calls. I would listen in on calls. I mean, I would do as much as I possibly could to help the overall development of the company and its key employees, right? Spent a lot of time with our executive team as well, right? I mean, just going out and having a cocktail or a cup of coffee, going bowling, doing some of the things that we would do. And just, I mean, we talked about work the whole time for the most part. I mean, a little bit of pleasure, just talking about personal things. But the vast majority of the time that we're traveling was, business.
You're having fun. It's like an obsession.
Yeah, it is. It becomes your passion. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely things that I'm very passionate.
What would you rather talk about? Like, it's just fun,
right?
Right.
Right. Yeah. And, business, I think, is my passion. I like creating things. I like solving problems and puzzles. And that I like putting stuff out into the world that you get the feedback for, like that it's helped them, and I did a talk about impact at one of these at one of our Christmas parties, right? And, the premise was like we've impacted the employees by, creating this company and putting food on their table. But then more than just the 80 employees that we had at that point, right? They also had spouses. They had children. So now 80 times, let's just say 3 or 2, right? So now we've impacted, 150, 160 people. And I said, well, it goes beyond that. What about the 160,000 people that are paying for the business or paying for the product that's helping them do their job better, right? And then, well, they have families, right? Well, what about the people that they've actually helped on top of that?
Yes, the impact.
So the impact really, it snowballs, and everybody's just like, I never looked at it through those lenses. Like this one idea, I mean, impacted 500,000, maybe 1 million people, because I mean, out of those 160,000 people, they probably helped 10 people a year or 5 people a year, in the real estate space. So that when you create something good, it will impact way more people than you. And I think that too many people are focused on, the Instagram glitz and the glitz and glam of, flaunting and stuff like that. That's not my MO. I mean, like, if you want to do that, that's cool. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having nice things, but just think about what you're creating and the impact that it can truly have on the world potentially.
Yeah, man. You're telling a story on Instagram, really. That's what everyone's doing. So it's like, what story do you want to tell?
Yes.
Who are you trying to help, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. The flexer thing, I don't know. Maybe that's a fad. I don't know. It's kind of like
I think it actually hurts more than I don't think it motivates people. I think it makes people feel small and like almost demotivates them. You get what I'm saying? Like, it makes it feel either makes them feel like they're entitled to it, which nobody's entitled to shit, or it makes them feel like it's out of reach. Like, how the fuck did he do that? You know what I mean? Because there's no sometimes there's no context behind it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Especially in like the guru world.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can go rent anything. And again, this isn't about like not having material things. Like, that's cool. If that's your thing, that's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when you see it online where it's like nothing but that.
Yeah.
Like, then you're kind of like, well, what are you really doing? What are you really like? Tell your story, help other people, impact other people, like for real, talk about like your dark days, and like, because this journey that we're talking about is probably one of the hardest things that I think a human could do. It's way harder, I think, to, work for yourself and being an entrepreneur and get yourself out of bed and all day you're facing problems. It's like really freaking hard. And it does a lot on the mental, I mean, there's a lot of, like, how do I solve this problem? And when there's so many of these people out there flaunting that, everyone's like, well, man, I've been in this rut for a year trying to figure this thing out. And this guy's buying 17 more cars. Meanwhile, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with having any of those things and putting some of that stuff out there. But my point is that that's not business. You know what I'm saying? Like, business is impact. Business is helping other people. Business is contributing more into society and giving back. And if you do a good job, you'll be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
When you see the dark days too, it's like, I think anyone listening to this who's started a company or whatever knows like what that pain is like, but it's serious, dude. It's like so much, like, I don't know if you got this too. Like, I'm a pretty confident person and like I exude a lot of confidence, but like I think we all have like some self-doubt at some point. You know what I mean?
You can't.
It's like impossible not to, but
Yeah.
like just having to like be like, fuck that and like block that out and be like, I've done this, and this, I can do this. But it's like it's like a battle between yourself, dude. Like,
yes. I mean, imposter syndrome is super tough,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, okay, I built this thing that was freaking great, right? What I think is great. And then at the same time, you're like, well, people have built things a million times bigger than this, right? And then you're like, can I do it again? And then you're like trying to create content and you have this weird feeling of like, I know that I'm good. I've done this before, but can I do this? And I bet you that that's true for a lot of professional athletes. Yeah. I mean, there's great running backs, great quarterbacks that just slayed their entire life and they get to the pros. They're on a good team, but they just never get to the end, I mean, they don't win a Super Bowl. I mean, that was one of the greatest quarterbacks, let's just say, right? And he went his entire life being a stud in high school, middle school, college, right? He gets drafted. He's one of the best. Doesn't win a Super Bowl, right? Is on a team that does less than 500 his entire career. I mean, like,
could be Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, those get, listen, my point is like, those guys are the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Joe Burrow's arguably like, I mean, whatever, top 3 QBs, probably best in the league when he's not hurt, but he just played with injuries and is on a shitty team with the O-line and he still performs when he plays. But yeah. Like,
and their mindset is probably like, I know I'm the best, but like, why can't
put it
I
together,
get
dude.
it? Why can't I? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's real for everybody.
you just got to grind it out too. You just got to fucking grind it out. Like,
yeah. And surrounding yourself with other people, when you are an entrepreneur, I think helps, right? Just talking to somebody that has a 9-to-5, I think it doesn't help a whole lot, because like they don't understand sometimes you can't shut it off at 5 o'clock. you're taking calls at 6 and 7, and you're getting up and you're trying to stack your day with positivity, but like you need to surround yourself with other like-minded people to help get you through that. So seek out other people in the entrepreneurial community. If there's a community that I think is one of the most giving, it definitely is them. Nobody's trying to hold their secret sauce.
There's no gatekeeping, dude.
Like, tell me what you're doing.
If I've noticed too, if somebody gives you advice and you like take the advice and you do what they told you to do, like somebody who like you look up to, they're much more likely to keep helping you.
Yeah.
If you just do whatever it is, like if they said, "Hey, dude, do this," and you don't do it, they're gonna be like, "Fuck this guy." But if you do it, you're like, "Yo, dude, I did it. It worked." Like that's how I talked about this in a different episode. Like that's how I got my job at the agency. Like how I got into agencies is like, I took the advice. It was shitty. It was good advice, but it hurt. I emailed the guy later, and then he ended up hiring me. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like,
yeah, execute.
People want to help people. Like that's what I'm saying.
I think that they do. I mean, I think that there is this weird, I don't know, villainization is the word around entrepreneurs. I mean, with Elon and all this other stuff, like most of the entrepreneurs in this country are small business, and most of these guys aren't actually trying to get another Lambo. They're like, how can I increase efficiencies to be a little bit more profitable this year so that I can hire another customer support rep or hire another framer or buy another van to go work on commercial buildings? Like the vast majority of them are trying to figure out how to get a little bit more to continue to grow. Most of them reinvest. It's not like they're these oligarchs that they're made out to be and like, oh, the business guys, bad and they need to give all their money away. It's like business in America is already hard enough.
How many small, I don't even know the number, but there's so many small businesses in the US.
Yeah.
And it's probably the thing that's keeping unemployment rates from tanking is people just keep starting new companies, dude. Like there's so many like solopreneurs in the US, it's insane.
It's gonna
continue
to quadruple, if not like 10x. People need to understand, like, that is the lifeblood of America. It is the people that have a dream that want to do it. I mean, I wish that the government and at all levels would make it more easy. It seems like they're making it harder and harder with more regulation. But the vast majority of people who want to start businesses, I mean, like they want to hire more people. But then when you got a million loopholes to go through, like there are hoops to jump through for the state to do this and to do this and like, stop doing that. Like, let the creators create. That's what this country was founded on. People wanting a better life, coming here, the land of opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden it's like way harder to do, even though it's
harder and easier.
Easier.
Like there's so many.
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's
like more politically fucked up, but like you can literally watch some YouTube videos now and like learn how to build a website.
YouTube University, baby.
Just learn how to build a website
University.
on Claude for like $20.
Right.
And like you can like literally you can go to market so fast now it's actually insane. It's not going to be perfect, but like you can. That's something that that's something I learned early is like a guy like me. I'm a creative person from a idea strategy standpoint. I've never been a developer designer. It's just not my skill set. I don't code. It's just not my world. But now I am.
Yeah,
and it's fucked up, dude. I'm not as good as I'm not saying like I'm as good at like I have full-time developers on my team and designers, dude. They're great. They're way better than I'll ever be. But I can get something in front of market fast.
Yeah. So software
that's good enough to sell.
Software is a great example, right? Like to start a software company before, right? You had to go either you had to be like a top level engineer, right? Or you had to go out and hire them. Well, they're very expensive. I mean, depending on where you live, 150, 175, up to $500,000 per dev.
If you're in Cali, it's like $500,000.
And they can only work so much, right? So, now you need 2, now you need 3. So you had to either have a pretty big bankroll, right, on your own if you wanted to create a software product, or you had to go out and raise a bunch of money, and that's a job all in itself to go do a capital raise. That's changing, and it's changing fast, right? With the acceleration of some of these new AI agents and things like that. Like now I have ideas and I can, within like hours, have a prototype, a working prototype, right? Not scalable. Like there's so many opportunities. So I've
been using it for like from a sales perspective in the agency space. That's like my go. And I don't care. I'm not going to gatekeep. I don't give a shit. Like anybody's listening, they should probably be doing this. Like, if I'm talking to a prospect and I have an idea, instead of creating a proposal to sell them an idea, I'll just go build the idea, dude. Like a really shitty version of it.
Yeah.
So like if I have like hey, we should do this lead cap. Like if I want to do like a lead cap that's going to be like for like an interior, let's say a closet, like somebody building California closets or whatever. Hey, we could build this crazy lead gen form where somebody can put in their email and they take a picture of their closet and AI will generate what it's going to look like when it's done. Mm-hmm. Like instead of like that actually sounds cool. It's like, yeah, it's really cool. And then I can just hop on Manus or Claude Code for 30 minutes, fucking build it and show it to them.
Yeah.
So like even from like it like, and that's not a finished product. Like I still need a dev to like, it's close, but like I still need a dev to like make it look better, help the UI UX, like because they're really they're the SMEs, they're the experts on how it's used. But like I can get that in front of like somebody and they're like, yo, how'd you do that? What else can you do for me? That's sick. So like like the whole value in having an agent or working with an agency before, the way that they build was all based on time and labor. Like you're saying, like a dev, hey, I'm paying for labor. So like I can justify giving some guy in Cali $500K because he's working 50 hours a week and it's going to cost me 10,000 hours to complete this project. And that's just the game. Now it's like all the middle shit's gone. So now you're just paying for like strategy, ideas, and execution and results, basically. So it's like totally flipped everything, dude.
Yeah, I personally, I think it's going to be one of the greatest opportunities that we have, that we've ever seen, at least in our generation. I don't know what's going to come next. You know, the internet was a big thing. Social media was a big thing. I definitely think that this is going to be bigger. Like, I don't see this as a bubble, right? Because
it's gonna shift. Like,
I don't think it's a bubble.
A lot of people are saying it's a bubble because of the infrastructure spend and like anytime this has happened, like the railroads had happened, like with everything that's happened. But like,
yeah, I think what it's going to do is it's going to massively unlock the opportunity to create impact or business or commerce with somebody who's creative, right? Somebody that has ideas and that knows how to problem solve. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be because of their education, right? It's going to be because of their mindset and their creativity, almost a creative renaissance, if you will, of business and things that are created from this. And then the other thing that it's going to do is it's going to massively escalate efficiencies. So a company that could do 100 units with 5 people may be able to do 250 units with the same amount of people, or 250 units with 3 people. So like from a bubble perspective, yeah, there might be diminishing returns at some point, but if a company can operate 20 to 30% more profitably in a year to their bottom line, they can continue to make those investments that we just talked about back into their business. So like, you know, my margin was 10% before, and now because of these tools, I'm operating at a 25%, right? Now they're like, let's go, baby. Let's reinvest. Let's go. So like, that's the way that I'm looking at all of this. I think that short term, there will probably be job loss, right? There most definitely will be job loss. And then I think things will start to settle down. And then I think you're going to see massive amounts of growth. I think that we're going to see tools and tech that we never even.
It's so weird though. Like the unemployment rate didn't go down yet. Like it's literally, it's like they just released it the other day, and that's why I think the S&P or the crypto or something went down. I was reading an article, but like it's still the same.
Yeah,
which is wild. So like jobs aren't actually being, at least yet, right? Like they're not companies. Everyone still has a job, right? So it's like I think it's just it'll be interesting to see how it works. You know what I mean? Like how it all. It'll be interesting too. It's all moving so fast. Like as of this time right now, when we're shooting this, Fable 5 is shut down. I think it's still shut down, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to work on it. I was working on it mid-work on it. It just shut down.
Yeah, I didn't even get to play with it.
I know. I wanted to build like an insane video game or something for my kids. Like literally, I went in there. I was like, build me Pokemon for my kids. It was like gone. But by when this releases, there might be something that just like crushes Fable, which is wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the acceleration of this is like. It's not like small increments. It's like game changers every week.
It's game changers.
Every week,
literally,
dude.
Like it's the 5-minute mile on steroids. Like it's compounding interest on steroids. I mean, it's getting so good so fast. And I think that, you know, energy, we know that this stuff takes a lot of energy. We know the cost of the tokens. But I think that, if we can get energy costs down, I think just like anything, the tokenization costs will also start to go down. I mean, anybody listening or watching this, if you were around when the first VCRs came out, like they were like $1,000. And now you can get them at a rummage sale for 50 cents, right? DVD players, Blu-ray.
Flat screen TVs.
Flat screen
Give
TVs.
like $400 out.
This stuff
like
was,
5K.
this shit was expensive as hell,
Yeah,
right?
Gangster shit.
And now like you get a flat screen TV for your kid's room for,
$300.
not even. I think you could buy like an
whatever.
audio box or something like that for, $78 that they can play their video game on or whatever the case may be. So I think over the next 3 to 5 years, I think that we will figure that out, right? And there will become a balance. But I think that ultimately it'll balance out really well. And I think that people's lives will get easier because of it. Things will be more accessible. You'll be able to use your mind and you're creative. I mean, how many people do you personally know? Because I know hundreds who went to college, they got some degree, right? They're in some bullshit job that they hate. But meanwhile, like they were always a great writer and they always aspired to write books, right? But, they didn't know how to get a publishing deal. They didn't know how to do this. They didn't know how to do that. Like now with these tools, you can do that. You can self-publish, right? Some of the best-selling books. I think Hermosi, I think he had one of the top-selling books, business books. He's not an author.
Goggins is the same thing.
Yeah, David Goggins, another, there's a lot of these guys that, are self-published.
Artists too. There's like musicians and.
So I love art, but these artists.
Which is really cool. I think it's cool that these guys who are creative can, or like there's a way for them to get that stuff out now, which is sick.
There's starving artists, right, that create amazing art, and they put something up on Instagram and they document them making art. I mean, I'm addicted to them and like the food people, right? And these guys went from like having like 5 followers, nothing big, to maybe 10,000 followers. Again, nothing big, but they're now selling their art pieces for 1,000, 15, 20,000. I've seen them 50,000, and they're just going up. Yep. And they're starting to ball. So here's a guy who, because of technology, probably would have been going to like little art festivals, maybe trying to sell, pieces off there or try to get him into a gallery. Now he can sell them to the world just by somebody being attracted to it, by utilizing technology. I mean, I think it's freaking amazing, to be honest with you. I do. Because he didn't want to be, an HR director. Like that's what his job, was before. And now he's slanging his art, which he loves to do. He's got his studio. He's listening to music and creating what he wants. So I think that this next wave, if you will, I think it's really going to unlock a level for the creatives and the people who want to be more effective.
So now, you were in software. What's the software space like now? Are they just getting wrecked? Like,
yeah. So, I'm way more in on AI, right? I advise a bunch of different companies, telehealth, e-com, legal, quite a few at this point since our last company. And it's really all based around AI, right? So the thesis now is how can we slowly implement AI into companies to build highly effective machines that offset cost and allow us to scale. Meaning, can we build a $25 million company or a $100 million company with 2, 3, 4, 5 employees? Or if you're already doing
which is crazy.
Or if you're doing 20 million or 50 million and you have a staff of 100, can you get that down to 75, get your life back a little bit, solve a bunch of problems, and just be happier, right? So I kind of play in between those two areas, right? We're building companies from the ground up with this technology, and we're also helping existing companies that have been around streamline, and become more efficient. So I think that those are probably the two biggest opportunities that I see and where I'm spending a lot of my time. In terms of software, I think that enterprise software moving forward is going to struggle massively, right? And it's because, enterprise software, I mean, you're paying $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. I mean, if you're on a product like Salesforce, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and then you survey the staff and, only 15% of them are using it because it's too damn complicated and it's not fully customized for themselves. So what I think that you're going to see, or where I think it's going, is like these like micro SaaS or SaaS products that are created internally, right?
Yeah, like you just go on Lovable and make your own bespoke
exactly
CRM.
Exactly.
That works for you.
So like, think about like, like an HVAC company. Maybe they're spending $10,000 a year on something that is third party, that tracks their employees, like checking in, checking out, taking pictures, etc. Right? Okay, so they're spending $10,000 a year for 5 years. That's a $50,000 investment on this product. Right? Somebody like me comes in, says, "Dude, we can build this thing for a couple grand, in a matter of 60 days or 90 days or whatever the case may be." So now as a business owner, you're going to say, okay, I was paying this company X to do this, right? Now, that software company is building it generically, right, to kind of fit the needs of everybody.
It's never perfect.
But you do something specific. You do HVAC. You also do hot water tanks, tankless, right? You want to have before and after pictures. You want a QR code that pops up when the client signs their e-sign on the contractor's phone, where they can scan a QR code that then goes right to reputation management for you, right? There's some things that like software never does it all. It's always lacking something. And then the person selling it to you be like, oh, it's coming, right? Yeah. Trust me, I've been on that side of the coin.
It's coming.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon. A little vaporware in the sales process when it comes to that. But with a forward-thinking executive team or CEO, you're going to start to weigh, like, if I own this piece of technology internally, I make that investment, I own it.
It's an asset
not
too,
leasing
right?
it, and it's an asset.
So if you're thinking about like valuation of your company.
So that's exactly where I was going. So when private equity comes in or an acquirer comes in, when you create your data suite, they want to know everything. Financials, they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that, and like you're like, no. These are all our proprietary technologies and solutions, right? McDonald's has a proprietary process, right? The more proprietary, the more that you control and that you own, the more somebody else, it's like, oh shit, this guy's got a really cool tool. They might give you an extra 1x on your valuation, right? Like, how is this company, like we just said, of 5, more profitable and more productive than my company over here that has 5 times the employees, right? It's fragmented. So unwinding that, like, I think that that's where future SaaS will go. And again, I think that this levels the playing field for the little guy, right? Like in the customization and maybe creating SaaS tools that are way more customizable. Like basically I give you the car and then you customize it even further beyond there. But I do foresee a lot of product companies starting to create their own. That's what I'm pushing. Like that's because it can be injected at any point, right? If you think about like where AI could be used, it can be used on the sales and marketing side.
I'm just shocked, like how many people I talk to, and like I try to help people too. I'm like, oh, like let's sit down for 30 minutes. I'll show you what I'm doing, because I don't think that there's this huge knowledge gap with using these tools. I think there's like a fear in using them, or like I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
But like it just shocks me how many people haven't already adopted it. Like there's obviously a huge piece of the population who has, or a good chunk of people in business, but like so many people haven't yet, dude. And it's like I don't know. I mean, listen. Yeah, I don't know why. Most people are using it wrong, right? They're using it more like novelty, Yeah, like
how to travel to Italy.
Make my friend fat.
Right? Like, give me a recipe. You know, like they're using it very similar to Google. They're not utilizing it to its full potential. And I think that spending a little bit of time on YouTube, right, and really starting to understand these tools and what they can do for you will drastically make your life easier. So instead of every time you want to make a recipe, right, going in, how do I make chicken piccata, right? How do I fry perch, right? Go in and create your own little agent.
Yeah,
and say
just creates a recipe for you
every
every day.
Sunday,
Yeah.
I want you to create me a recipe based upon these diet restrictions, based upon these, working out, right? I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to do this. I have a son that doesn't like this. And every Sunday, I want you to create recipes for the entire week, along with the ingredient stuff that I could then add to my Kroger shopping cart, where I can just pick everything up.
I don't think people realize it takes like 10 minutes to create this.
Exactly.
And like you can,
that's what I'm saying.
You can
like
just download Whisperflow and talk to your phone.
That's exactly.
And have it done, and then it's done forever. Like
Yeah.
that's the gaps. You get what I'm saying? Like that's like the barrier. I think a lot of people are like, because you hear all this, I think people are scared of it. And that's, I don't even, maybe it is fear, but like, and I don't think fear in the way necessarily, but it's gonna like ruin my business and take my jobs or whatever. Just like intimidated by it is a better word, I guess. Like they're intimidated. Like I started messing around with Amanda, and I was like, listen, just do this. Like start using it. And now she's using it for like everything. You know what I mean? And she's not like building agents yet, but just to see like
100%.
it's like fucking awesome,
100%.
I mean, because it can be intimidating. It's like, oh, am I doing it wrong?
But it shouldn't be. I mean, like it shouldn't be. Like just, everybody should get out there and just start playing with it and understanding it, right? Like, don't get me wrong, anybody who's
It
listening.
should cost money too. It's not like you have to spend some money on it. It's
you
not that
can get
expensive.
the free version to start.
I went
to start-
nuts.
to- to start-
I go nuts, dude.
I have a subscription for just about all of them. Right.
I hit like a week where I was like, I'm going to learn how to edit video. I just wanted to learn how to do it. I spent like, whatever, I got like 10 subscriptions. I told you. And I was like going nuts. I'm on Kling. I'm creating the dumbest shit ever. But I learned a lot. I do the same thing with Madness. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to build websites. Spend, probably $1,000, like whatever, building a few sites. I'm like, all right, cool. This is dope. But I just do it because I want to learn it.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I just want to learn it.
But you're in a like all of us, right? And those of you who are watching or listening, if you haven't, like you're not super far behind.
No, you're
like
not.
You're
That's
like
what I'm
2
saying.
days behind.
Yeah, it's wild
because this stuff is going so fast, right? So like you shouldn't be intimidated. You should just kind of start to understand where the world is going with this stuff if you want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like just play with these things. You're in a discovery mode of trying different things, and so am I. So like start to think about how to apply this at scale for your own benefit, your family's benefit, your physical benefit, or your business's benefit.
My personal trainer's Claude.
Oh, for sure.
It's fucking sweet.
For sure.
I just go on. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bink. Here's your
Yeah.
diet. Here's your workout. Here's your cardio.
You put in all your biomarkers, all your
Yep.
stuff. You can.
I update it every time I do it, so it updates my plan like based on my progress.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And then listen, I think you should still hire coaches and personal trainers, right? Be like, hey, I've hit a block at this, right? I need your personal opinion. I think people's personal
There's still going to be this human element.
people's personal values, I think, are going to elevate.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right now, instead of you paying me $97 a month for me to train you 2 times a week, right? I'm going to meet with you once every 2 months, evaluate me, right? Up my levels, and I'm going to pay you $275. So now that guy who was only going to he was going to have to work with you 2, 4, 6 hours is charging the same amount for 1 hour's worth of time once a quarter.
Yeah, they're working with a group of 200 people.
Which means he can work
then
with
he
more.
knows, hey, this is where my group's at. You're falling a little bit below. You should be
100%.
doing this. Hey, tweak that. Because it's not, everyone's bodies. I think being able to communicate and like talk to people is, like that value is going to, it's always been important. It's just going to become more and more and more important,
Yeah.
I think customer service is screwed. Like customer service calls aren't going to be a thing, but like I'm talking about like sitting down with somebody.
Will be higher value.
Yeah.
You'll pay more.
Yes.
Right? So I can't log in shouldn't be something that you are able to get a CS person to answer, right? That should not be a human, in my personal opinion. I can't log in, right? Like, no. That should be a robot. It really should. It should be like, here's how you reset your password. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do this. Now, all my data has been wiped out, right? All my proprietary data, Then you want a CS person, right? And you don't want a level 1 CS. Like I don't.
You don't even want a CS person. You want like a tech. A tech director.
100%. You want like a
you wanna
level
talk to
3,
the guy.
somebody that the guy
what I'm saying.
that can get you answers. Not we've all done this on the phone. We've done this.
Our whole team is becoming way more client facing. Like roles that I would never put in front of a client just because it's just distracting. It's all changing because it makes sense.
Yeah,
it just makes a lot of sense. You know?
Like last week, I was working with a CEO that we're working with right now. And like one of the very first things I was like, I need to look at like what the business is doing right now. Like your leads, your appointments, your show up rates, your conversions. He's like, oh, that's going to take me a couple weeks to gather. I was like, okay, like that's a problem if you at a moment's notice can't get access to the lifeblood of your business. If you can't lead gen an appointment, do all that stuff, and you can't see that day in, day out, like that's what I would focus on personally. And so he gets it to me. He tells me where it's all at. It took 3 weeks-ish, right, when we started this conversation. It was in some pretty common places, right? People built through Stripe in some of these places. Mm-hmm. They use Meta. They use Google. They have different websites, et cetera. And in a matter of, I don't know, like an hour, we created what was called Mission Control.
It's like a scorecard, basically.
It's a living dashboard. We created it in 15 minutes. He has access to it. He sees in real time all of it. Yeah. He knows what the pipeline value is. He knows where everything. Now we're starting to add, like he's in the legal field, and he's like, I want to know who has pending documents that still need to be signed. So we expanded that. So he can see he's collected 23. There's 3 outstanding, who they are, and then he can click on them, go right into the CRM, and make sure that the follow-up is being done. In this case, we even automated that with robots that actually chase down the stuff as well. We've duplicated that now 3 times since building it for other clients.
Yeah, we built something similar.
It's rad. I mean, that used to take a long...
You show it to them, they're like when you show it to them, like, yo, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, it's so remarkable. I mean, like, you just think about a kid in the inner city, you know, who doesn't have access to a lot, but he has access to a cell phone, right? And he wants to create something, you know, I don't know, whatever it is that he wants to create. And he doesn't have the knowledge to be a CMO, right? He can use the tool on his phone. He can get Grok, he can get Claude, and say, I want you to be a Harvard-level CMO with all of the metrics, with all of this. Here is my idea. Here is the avatar that I'm going after. I want to create a robotic or an agent-style CMO. He can do that in like a day. Now this kid has a plan, a go-to-market strategy, things that it took you and I years to figure out, right? Read books, read books.
Like years.
Listen to podcasts. I mean, like talk to people. Like think about that kid who's just getting started.
Yeah, he's light years ahead.
That's
what I'm saying. The go-to-market's sick. It's
like
badass.
You know, here he just wanted to grow his little, dumpster power washing business. You know, he wanted to grow it to, create $5,000 a month in income.
Because when you're especially in like marketing and because it is still all tech. It's not software, but it's like if you're creating a tech product, you used to have to like build the MVP, get validate. You can like basically skip the validation now. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just skip the first full step of like building the software. Like just MVP it in like an hour, 2 hours, whatever, a full day a week. Who cares? Like it's nothing compared to like what it used to be. Go talk to a few people about it, or run some sort of, if you have a means of, like if you have a bigger audience, ask them what they think of it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, would you buy this? Yes or no? Run some sort of email campaign or Instagram campaign or wherever. But you can get market validation and everything before you've sunk a bunch of money into it. Like maybe you've sunk like a week into it of your time or a few days or a team's time. And then you can get validation on, okay, this is a good thing that we're actually going to take to market and build. And now you have a pre-sold list of shit.
Yeah.
Versus it used to be like, hey, all right, I have this idea. All right, well, all right, let's fucking build out the whole thing. Oh, that sucks. They hate it. Fuck. All right, let's build something else out. It just saves all the
100%. And
you're still selling to people, dude. Like people still need to validate what you built. Like they still have to want to use it. You know?
I mean, they're at it for the most part. Like the robots aren't selling to each other yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
not yet.
I mean,
they're selling to us. Isn't there like a site out now where like the AI is hiring human influencers?
probably.
There is.
Yeah.
It's like an AI site, and the AI is hiring humans to be an influencer for their AI.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It doesn't surprise me. Right. But like everybody is still in the people business, right? It's a service, it's a product, it's a this. Like you're still selling to people, right? Like we are the ones with the money. We are the ones paying, whether it's at the pump, it's at the mall, or it's online. Like so, you need to make sure that that's still a critical.
The AIs are gonna like hack the blockchain and like
that's still a critical component, right? But everybody listening, everybody watching, just remember that like every business is in tech at this point.
Yep.
The HVAC company that we just talked about, they're buying Google ads, they're doing this, you're taking payments electronically. You know, every single step in your business process, if you were to just mind map everything out, you'd probably find 50 ways in which you could implement these strategies and these tools that would probably save you a few percent, if not more, in every single area and give you a little bit more peace of mind.
A few percent is like huge too.
100%. We took a company from 3 million in a matter of 6 months, almost doubled their business, right? And it's all because we automate. Again, I come from the CRM space. We automated all of the follow-up, all of the appointments, all of the appointment no-shows, all of the retargeting ads, all of that. So we're filling the funnel faster. We're getting win-backs faster. We're working the database faster.
They were just losing half their opportunities, basically.
They had this huge bucket of opportunities, right? And before you go out chasing new opportunities, find the opportunities that you currently can exploit in your business, right? The 6 hours of work to get all of the data that we just talked about. That's a problem. You're paying somebody $50, $100 an hour to get you all that information, or you're spending your time doing it. You have a database of potentially old leads, old customers, right? Those customers aren't buying again. Mind that, right? You have 8 CS people answering the phones. Like, you don't need that, right? Look at your existing business now and say, where can I create efficiencies? Where can I create money that's already sitting there? And once you streamline that, then go out and grab more. That would be that's my approach now. It's like, is there money on the table now?
Right.
That we're missing
fruit.
Before we're like, I don't know, let's go do YouTube. Like, that's insane. You know, like YouTube is hard. Okay. Like there is a big strategy. There's a big consistency thing with it. That's really what I'm telling people at this point. Like, look at your business now. Right? Who's answering your phones? Is that necessary? Right? Who's setting up the appointments? Is that necessary?
Yeah, I think the attitude for at least my attitude for new initiatives is like when we were talking about doing something and like timelining, getting it done, and we have to hire somebody. It's like, just prove to me we can't automate it first. Basically, I think that's Spotify. That's like their. I think Spotify, but it's like, prove to me we can't do it with AI first.
Yeah.
And like, hey, if we can't, cool. But like, let's prove it first. Like the shit that we think is impossible, because there's still, like you said, we're still learning. You know what I mean? There's still things. So it's like, prove to me we can't do it.
There's things that you and I are doing right now in our business that Ford Motor Company and General Motors here in town are not. Mm-hmm. Right? Like billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies aren't implementing some of these strategies that we're talking. They're getting into it. Don't get me wrong.
There's just so much red tape. It's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's opportunities. So for like, the way that I see it is like the playing field.
They got to fight with like IT teams, like directors. Like, it's just
the playing field is level. Like that's what I think everybody needs to understand.
But it won't be forever.
It will not be forever.
It's a window.
There's a short window.
3 to 5 year window, probably.
I agree with you. There's a short window to accelerate far beyond. Like, if you missed the days of being an Instagram influencer, you're like, shit, you know, I know a lot of people are like, oh man, I should have just went and made food every day and been a food influencer, or, you know, done what Jake Paul does, or whatever the case may be. You missed that boat. You haven't missed this one yet, but you will if you sleep on it. Like, that's my opinion, because I guarantee that you and I could walk into one of these major corporations tomorrow and tear it to pieces in terms of creating efficiencies. with simple solutions that we build internally.
$20 a month.
100, $20 a month to 200 people every one at a time. Yeah,
piss some people off.
Yeah, it's a wild time, and I'm.
Well, they did. I mean, the big companies like GM, they adopted robotics. Like the assembly lines used to be all people, right? Like,
100%.
And then they put in robots that replace thousands of jobs and either fired those people or reallocated them. So like the companies when those companies start using these tools, it's gonna get tougher. So like that's why, like you're saying, it's important to like, learn now. Like,
yeah, or help Frank do his job better.
Yeah,
like maybe this. I don't know who created the 40-hour work week, right?
I think it was Rockefeller.
But you listen.
Legit, I think it was.
You listen to somebody like Elon. He doesn't think that. Some of these. I think that they've created pretty brilliant things, whether you like these people or not. Like, that's a long time to be away from your family, right? Driving to work 45 minutes, driving home in traffic. We got construction all around us, right? We're working 40 hours. We got some stuff to do at home. Like, maybe by like General Motors implementing this, maybe Frank can get paid the same amount, but his output is better because we create a tool for them, right? Like, so now Frank is 10 to 15 hours more efficient. He gets to skip the rush hour. He gets to be home, 2 hours earlier each week, or maybe he doesn't work on Friday, or maybe he doesn't work on Monday. Gets paid the same. His output is better, but he gets to have dinner with his 2-year-old every day.
That's a nice way to think about it. I don't know if the companies will do that, but I can see smaller. I can see smaller companies.
I think that they will.
I think smaller companies. I think you're right. It'll trickle up because if smaller companies start doing it, and then all these people, all the good talents, like, hey, I want to work at this business because they offer a 20-hour work week and they're willing to pay me more than I do now. Then the big companies might have to wake up and be like, shit, the whole culture just changed. You know what I mean? I just don't. I'm a capitalist, dude. Straight up.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. I don't think a lot of companies give a shit about Frank. I think there's a lot of companies that don't care. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think big companies, yes. Right. Work for me for 35 years.
Like,
right. You got your 401k.
I think smaller companies have
Here's
to care.
your watch. Goodbye. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the culture. That is the culture in a lot of big companies. I think that's going to have to change because they're going to have to be competitive to what I think this revolution will create. Somebody's going to appreciate Frank a hell of a lot more for what he does. And Frank, in my opinion, maybe he shouldn't be paid hourly, right? Like, I'm paying you X to do this. If you do it in 1 hour or 100 hours, I don't give a shit. That's on you, right? If Frank gets really efficient with tools, right, that allows him to do that, should it matter, right? You're in the agency space.
Well, that's how we get down. Yeah,
you guys have been doing this.
The time thing doesn't matter as much.
It's not time.
It's different.
Same thing with like a surgeon. Like, okay, here's the best surgeon in the world, right? You got some crazy cancer, right? He's the best one in the world, right? You got this guy, he's like a good one, okay? This guy could probably do the job in 20 minutes because he's done 5,000 of these. This guy's, it's going to take 3 hours, right? Ooh, it's the same price, right? Where are you going to go? You're going to go with the best person, right? Like, the merit of the individual because of knowing these tools and knowing how to, I think that they should be rewarded.
I don't disagree with you.
I mean,
I just think I think that if you look at it, people are probably working more now than ever.
Yeah, they are. And
after like the internet came in and it's like we got all these efficiencies and now it's like, okay, cool, just throw more shit into the bucket.
But it's a different. I don't know. It's a different type of work too, though, man. Our grandparents were working in factories and like shoveling coal and like doing harder jobs. Your dad running kitchens, like those are some hard ass jobs. And now I have a lot of friends like they all.
It's not easy, but it's like relatively like I'm not outside fucking digging holes, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're also not in that chaos either.
Yeah.
You're working from the comfort of your home. They're in this office. I think work has changed. You're able to go take your son to a doctor's appointment if needs be, right? Think about 15 years ago. Dad's working at the factory. Mom's a nurse, You know, like you can't just leave, and she can't just leave. You needed help. Now you have that flexibility, and I think a lot of the working force, not all, have that flexibility, especially in a dual income type of home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there is more flexibility in our work, so it's going to change again in a big way. I think we're going to see things that we've never seen before. You know,
maybe nobody will have jobs.
maybe, yeah. I don't know. You know, I mean, like
that's what people say. They're like a lot of people too are like, that's gonna take. It's like, well, dude, if
that's some Wall-E shit, right?
Like if it takes over, we're all fucked anyway. So it's like, even if it doesn't, like if it actually takes, you know what I'm saying? Like if it takes over the planet, it's like, okay, well, then we're all dead anyway. So, so who cares? So let's act as if it's not going to, and like let's just figure out a way to add value and make money with it. You know what I mean? Because
I'm a realist as well. Like, I mean, there is 5% Terminator 2 shit here too, right? You know, with NVIDIA and with Anthropic, and then the government, and you know, they're building robots. Like Tesla's making the shift
new ones that like can like do combat. Like they,
it's crazy.
Like you push it down, it like pops back up, and it's like ready to fight you.
Yeah, there's 5. Like if a robot walked in the door with a machete right now, I would actually be a little bit more scared than if a guy came in here. To be honest with you,
hell yeah, I would be.
Because like that guy could be talked to. Yeah. I could do something. Like I might be lucky and throw this cup at him and hit him in the head, knock him down. The robot's gonna get back up and kill him.
You can stab a guy. You can't stab the robot. You can't really stab a robot.
You gotta know
He's got no feelings.
You gotta know the kill switch like on your cell phone. Yeah. I mean, listen, there is that possibility, right? I don't think that that's going to happen, but I mean, a lot of things are just gonna change, you know, and I think that the point is like, explore these things. And if you don't know how to do it, go to YouTube, call me, right? Like get somebody to help you to figure this stuff out, because you just have to be better than the next guy. Mm-hmm. You just got to be an hour ahead of him, a day ahead of him. I mean, to win a race, like it's like I'm a big F1 guy. Like it's between the first and like the 20th, it's all like fractions of a second.
It's like 3 seconds.
They're so freaking good driving those cars that in the one guy that's dominating, he's just like a fraction of a second ahead of everybody else. Between his car, his team, and him, that's it. So to win, people don't need to be like, I'm too late. Like start strategizing now, start learning now, start talking to people now. And I think that it's going to change lives. I think that more multimillionaires and billionaires are created than probably ever.
I agree with
I think the lady working, I think the single mom, you know, who's working 2 jobs to, you know, pay the bills, I think she has an opportunity unlike anybody's, you know, at this point to learn some of these tools and she didn't know how to create a website. She didn't know how to do this. She loves baking. She does this, right? Like I for real, I'm that optimistic with this stuff.
I'm optimistic with a lot of it.
Like she couldn't afford to hire a web dev, and she didn't know how to do film editing. She didn't know how to do this. She didn't know how to do that, right? Working 2 jobs. Well, you could do a lot of those things that we just talked about in 2 hours on your cell phone. Like for real, 2 hours. She could literally create
That's what I'm saying. There's an intimidation factor. Like, I don't know why, but some people will pick it up.
Well, you either do or you don't, right? And I think that if you don't, you will have missed out on one of the easiest opportunities, I think, to capitalize on, right? To put you and your family in a better position. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Cool, man. Anything else you want to share as we wrap this up?
No, it's been great.
Let's talk about RanToro Group at all, your website?
Yeah, anybody that wants to, you know, have a conversation, RanToroGroup.com, RanToroGroup, schedule a meeting with me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an Instagram influencer. I mean, my social media is predominantly me and my family and whatever my wife tags me in. But yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with anybody at this point, you know, like see what we can do. And yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Looking forward to do it again.
Thanks, dude.